Hi, this is Trepacer. As promised, I did go to see Warcraft. I did see it right after The Conjuring 2. There it is, right there. I saw a regular. I didn't see it in 3D. I just saw a regular D, I guess 2D Warcraft. Of course, it's based on the video games. Now, let me just first say I never played the video game, so I have no frame of reference of the characters and stuff. This movie stars Travis Fimmel, Ben Foster, Paula Patton's in this as well, and Dominic Cooper as well is in this. It's basically a story about these orcs. I'm going to try to break it down, make it simple for those who don't know about the game. Basically, these orcs are their world is dying, and basically they're going to come over to our world and basically take over our world. And you have this peaceful kingdom on the other side that's going to battle them basically. Now, let me just say, this movie, I did find this movie entertaining, but the thing with this movie, like I said, because I have no frame of reference, from the characters and all that stuff, all I have to base it on is what I see on the screen. I have no knowledge of the game and all that stuff, but I just have to base it on what I see on screen. Now, of course, initially when I'm watching this, I'm kind of playing catch up, trying to remember the names and stuff of everybody that's in the movie, because they're trying to give you all this exposition of everything, so you know who all the players are and stuff. The orcs, you got the evil orcs, then you got the friendly orcs that want to work with the humans for their survival and stuff. Then you got the king, and then you got his knight, his favorite knight, and his wizard that's supposed to help him protect the kingdom and stuff. And let me just say, I think this movie, I like this movie, but I think this movie suffered from jumping all over the place. They're trying to basically invite you into this world and explain everything that happens. And introduce you to all these different characters, you're trying to play catch up, but it jumps from one scene to the next, and back and forth between the orcs and the humans, and from this character to that character, and you're trying to play catch up and get invested in this. But I think this movie would have benefited. I think this movie, as it is, I think it's about 2 hours and 11 minutes. But I think this movie would have benefited from being like Lord of the Rings type of length, like 3 hours and plus, something like that. Because I think that way the movie could have flowed better. I think, and you could have got better character breakdowns. I think that's what this hurts this movie somewhat to an extent. I enjoyed it, but there was just so many things going on, and you're trying to keep track of the characters here and there, and it's jumping from this one to this situation to this situation, and it just sometimes it gets too confusing. That's why I think a nice 3 hour runtime or 3 hours plus runtime, like a Lord of the Rings type of runtime, would have benefited this movie good. You could have cared more about the characters than you do. I mean, certain characters I automatically cared about, but certain other characters, I don't think you got enough of the backstory to really get invested in it. And I think that's what hurt this movie somewhat. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I think the jumping all over the place and them trying to squeeze everything in 2 hours and 11 minutes. And if this movie was longer, like 3 hours, I know it's a weird thing to say that, but I think if the movie was longer, it could have fleshed out the characters more, and you could have empathized with it. You could have got a little of the backstory and stuff, and the pacing would have been better instead of jumping all over the place. And I think which really kind of hurt this movie. Although I did like the world that they created, and I did like the battles, but I just think it suffered from that. The jumping all over the place and to try to get everything in the 2 hour and 11 minute runtime, which is pretty long. But I still think 3 hours plus would have gave you a proper introduction into this Warcraft world. Okay, as it is, certain characters I think got short shrift. I think Travis Fimmel, who was supposed to be like the main knight guy, and you got a little bit of his backstory. I mean, you got to meet him. His sister was married to the king, played by Dominic Cooper. Travis Fimmel, who was on the show Vikings, he's a good leading man. But again, I think his character got short shrift a little bit. And also, I think Ben Foster, who played like the wizard that's helping the king protect the kingdom, I would have liked to see more of his character in the movie as it is. I mean, he does play a pivotal part in the movie, but more of his backstory would have, I think, helped. And then there's a young actor who plays like sort of like an apprentice, not an apprentice to him, but it's like a rival guy, not a rival, sort of like a junior musician, a junior, I guess not apprentice, because he's not really apprentice to to Ben Foster's wizard character, but he's like a young guy who knows things, and he's kind of like, I guess, the everyman introduction into the story. Uh, Again, and then this Paula Patton who plays one of the orcs, and she was okay. I liked her character a lot, actually. I thought she was good, and I thought her and Travis Fimmell's character, I thought they had good chemistry between the two of them. And also, I think Dominic Cooper, I liked him as the king. He was nice and heroic when he had to be and stuff, and wise and level-headed, which I think helped in the situation. And Toby Cabell, who plays like one of the main orcs that's trying to work with the humans, I would have liked to see more of his character and more of his. You know, he got some character interaction, but I would have liked to see more backstory with him because he was like a leader of a clan, and I kind of. I mean, I don't want to spoil what happens to his character or anything, but I just felt his character again another character that could have benefited, I think, from more backstory and stuff, and more getting to know his character. I think that's why I think this movie had a lot of potential, but it just couldn't live up to it. I mean, in my opinion, you know, I enjoyed it, but it didn't live up. It could have been a better movie. Let's put it. That's what I guess the gist of what I'm trying to say. I think it could have been a better movie if it had a longer runtime and you got to know more of the characters, you know, at a slower pace and stuff, and not, you know, jumping all over the place. But as it is, I did find certain parts of it entertaining, and I would love to see a sequel to this if they could, you know, flesh out the character development and maybe, like I say, have a longer time. And I'm interested to know if this movie will have a director's cut, like a 3-hour plus director's cut, where certain things were maybe cut out, which could have fleshed the story out better, which is ironic. Okay, which is, but I'm thinking I think that's what this movie suffers from. You know, the short runtime, not short time, but you know, the runtime where you have all these different characters in this different world, and you don't have them. They don't have enough time to get invested in them, I guess. Like, I mean, I care about certain characters and stuff, and when certain things happen to certain characters, you go, Jesus, if I had known this character better, maybe I would feel more empathy for him. I feel empathy for him, but not as much as I would have if I would have known more, if I had spent more time with this character. So, again, that's what I mean, the gist of that. So as it is, Warcraft, I think it had potential, but I just didn't think it lived up to the potential with the short running time. It definitely could have benefited from like a 3-hour run time, so that way they would have fleshed out the more of the characters and stuff, and you would have said, okay, this is a great world, and I want to definitely revisit it again. As it is, I do want to revisit it again. I think it would benefit from having a longer run time for these movies to flesh out and let the story play out and flesh and flow better. Okay. Okay, so overall, I'm going to give Warcraft, okay, I'm going to give it, I was debating whether to give it I'm going to give it a 7. Or should I give it a 6.5? I'm going to give it a 6.8, okay, that's what I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it not quite a 7. I'm going to give it a 6.8, okay? I'm going to give it a 6.8. I was really just trying to get it to 7, but I don't think it quite got there, okay? Even though I like the actors in the movie and stuff, and the world is nice, but I just think it needed more runtime and stuff, and maybe there's, like I said, there's a director cut out there that will, like a 3-hour plus director's cut that Duncan Jones did, that, you know, everything plays out and then probably flows better. I don't know any of that, if that is true. I hope it is, so that way I would love to get a director's cut of this movie just to see, you know, the story play out, you know, play out better. Anyway, let me know what you think. If you've seen Warcraft, what do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below, and if you like this review, please hit the subscribe button down below. And I also have another channel called Paul's Views and Opinions. The link is in the description box below as well. I have a link to my Facebook and Twitter down there as well, so please check those out as well. And this is Trepacer saying so long and take care.